little candle.
Oh, so okay, no, just leave it. I don't want it.
Oh.
I don't want it.
It's not even in the shot anyway.
Yeah. Okay, are we live? I think so. Let me just. I know I always do this when I start a live stream, but like I just feel like I should listen on my phone real quick. Oh, so okay, no, just leave it. I don't want it. I don't want it. Oh, okay. We're live. Awesome. Okay. Now you're probably getting double of me. Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. We're doing another Technique Together live stream. So in these live streams, I do a live stream every Tuesday night at 5 p.m. Eastern time. I live in New York City, so that's the time I go off of. And thanks. And yeah, basically, we're just gonna do technique exercises together, and we're doing today left hand shifting, which is kind of like. It's not like the most fun or interesting thing, but I think it's really, really important. And it's something I struggled with for a long time because, you know, you really don't want your shifts to sound choppy. If you're playing a piece of music that's really beautiful and you don't want it to sound, you know, broken up. You need to have a nice, smooth connection in the melody. I was just teaching a Suzuki lesson, so I've got this. I got this in my ear, but yeah, so this is what I'm thinking shifting. I just worked on a student with this shift, but basically, you know, you just want all the notes to sound really nice and smooth. Just shifting that way and thinking about that with all of the voices. That was a melody voice, but even all of them. I mean, I guess the best solution would be is if your music was all in the same position, and if you were playing a melody or a phrase, it would all just stay in the same place, so you wouldn't have to break it up with a shift. But that's just not what we're like, just not possible. So what we have to do is fix our technique to make it so that we can get a good sound even if you need to shift. So this exercise, you know what, I think I tried to put in the description some of the books that I'm using here, but I don't know if they load. I had some kind of error, like an internet error when I did it. But I'll put them in again, but they're in some of the other videos I've did because I use the same books all the time. So you could go back to the last technique live stream I did, and I have it's basically the same books. But right here on the screen, I've got Carlevaro, and this one is really interesting. And if you can't read music and this looks like a crazy mess to you, that's fine, because this looks like a crazy mess to me, honestly. Like, I look at this sheet and it's like, what is going on? There's like notes all over the place, and there's flats and sharps, like how I used to read that. It's really just like a technique exercise, and the notes aren't very complicated or complex. It's just a way to show what notes they are. So if you can't read music, don't be intimidated by the notes on the screen. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. And if you can read music, I hope that this can help add an extra layer of the techniques to show you. But I guess the important thing to look at is going to be the fingers that we use in this. And this is Abel Carlevaro's book, and I think this is a really good one because it shows you which string it's on. So you kind of even can just look at the string number, which is the one with a circle around it, and that's it. We're just doing one string at a time. We're just shifting on one string. So look at the string number and then which fingers are being used. Yeah, so basically I'm going to start with a bunch of these Carlevaro exercises, and they're not like super fun to listen to. I apologize for that. But grab your guitar and see if you can follow along with me. And obviously, if you have any questions, just put them in the chat. I've got the chat over here. I'm keeping an eye on for your questions. Robbie says, sorry I'm late for practice. What did I miss? Robbie, you cannot come to practice late ever again. I'm going to kick you out of my class. I'm just kidding. This is just a YouTube class. But yeah, we didn't miss anything. I just gave a little introduction. I actually was late today. I was teaching a lesson right until 5, so I did a little bit late. But we're just starting now, and we're going to start with this one. I'll just kind of starting with this top one, if you can see on the screen. And we're going to do 6th string, and I'll walk you through these fingers that we're using. We're starting with the 1st fret, 1st finger, and you're going to play this F on the 1st fret, and then we're going to try to jump to the G. So you're going to jump, not jump, but shift up to 2 frets. And then we're going to play the 3rd finger, 4th, and now your 4th finger is going to go back 2 frets. And then 2nd finger. So you can see I did exactly what is written here, which is 6th string, 1st, 1st, 3rd, 4th, 4th goes back, and then 2nd. So I'm going to do it one more time, and just to show you what it's going to be like if it was all put into one thing. So what are we looking for here? Don't let the notes get like broken up. Like we don't want. Let's try to keep it really nice and smooth and relaxed. Oh wait, 1, 1, 3, 4. 4 is going backwards. So the thing about this also is we're on these bass strings now, and they can be really squeaky, right? You hear that? So the thing about shifting on the bass strings is we need to make sure that we don't hear those squeaks as much. Sometimes it's like almost impossible to eliminate all these squeaks. It's a lot when you're moving your hands that much, but think about just not letting them squeak. So maybe that's taking your finger off completely, but like if I'm taking my finger off completely, it's still very close to the string. Did you hear that squeak that time? So that time, the time before, I squeaked coming backwards on that 4 to 4, which I think 4th finger going back to another 4th finger is probably more difficult than 1 going up. So let's keep that in mind, and let's do this one more time, just because it's the first one we're doing, and I want to make sure we've got a good bass for this. So don't squeak, so maybe lift your finger up a little bit more than, like a little tiny bit off the string, like this much off the string, such a small amount, because you need to come back down. If you lift it up too far, you have to come back from far away. And then what else? Keeping your hand relaxed. Keep your hand relaxed. Don't squeak. And keep the line of the music. I know this isn't like music, but it's an exercise so that when you go to play music, it will sound better. So keep the line of the music nice and connected. So let's try this again. 1, 1, 3, 4, 4, 2. And then a repeat. Slacking sources. How do I pull my finger off without getting that pull-off sound? So you're not doing a pull-off. You're just lifting your finger like really slightly. Like, let's see if I can show at all. So you're just kind of lifting your finger just that much, like that. So I have my finger down. I'm trying to do this exercise backwards, which is crazy. So my finger's down here. I don't know if you can even see this, if this makes sense. But when I go to put my 4th finger down on the next fret, I lift my fingers ever so slightly. Right there. Because if I don't, you're going to get that sound. So we don't want a pull-off sound either. I don't want like a, we're not pulling off. We're just lifting it to go backwards. We want all of the notes to sound really connected. So let's do this one more time. that's the 6th string. Do the same thing on now the 5th string. It's the same exact pattern, but just on the 5th string. So it's 1, 1, 3, 4, 4, 3, and then repeat. So I'm going to do it slowly. Fifth string. Let's do the 5th string one more time. Front repeat. Yeah, that four to four kind of shift is the hard one, I think, for me especially. Your pinky's probably not as strong as your other fingers, and you've got to kind of aim it specifically, but if that seems difficult for you, you can always go slower, and if you need to go even slower, you could stop for a second and, you know, watch this video again later. I wouldn't want you to be rushing, because if you're rushing, your hand's gonna get tense and it's gonna lock up. Imagine if your hand gets tense when you're trying to shift. It's just gonna lock, like, and then, this is an exaggeration, your hand probably would never be this tense, but it's going to lock, and then it's going to make your shifts sound mechanical, and it's going to be painful. So, 5th string, let's go to the 4th string, because we've got the same kind of issues with the 4th string, which is that you've got these metal wound strings that are going to squeak, so we got to still be careful on the 4th string, and it's the same pattern on the left hand. 1, 1, 3, 4, 4, 2. 1, 1, 3, 4, 4, 2. What do you think? Everybody's good with that? So if you're good with that, then we're good to go on to the higher strings, which are a little bit easier because we don't have to worry about the squeaks. So we can relax a little bit now. Now I'm here. I can't zoom anymore, but I'm on this one right here. And it's same thing, but on the 3rd string. So with this one, you can slide your finger. Oh wait, let's not make that sound in between the slide though. Ugh. Wait, okay, I said this was gonna be easier, and now mine's sounding worse. I'm gonna go slower. Robbie asks, is it a bad idea to put steel strings on a classical? Yeah, probably, just because your classical guitar isn't made for, it's not set up for that. Like, the tension isn't set up for that, like acoustic guitars are set up for steel strings. I would only put nylon strings on your classical. Yeah, on a classical guitar. So let's do 3rd string one more time. So we're not having the issue of squeaking here, but you could accidentally like slide the note if you're not careful. Did you hear that? We don't want to slide the note because we're pretending this is like a melody, right? Okay. And how about the 2nd string? So, same thing on the 2nd string. 1, 1, 3, 4, 4, 2, 1, 1, 3, 4, 4, 2. I'll do that again. 1, 1, 3, 4, 4, 2. I'm gonna do that again just because I kind of buzzed that last note, which I didn't like. All right, and now we're here on the 1st string. And then I thought that last one kind of was sliding a little bit, so let me try it again. And then that time I thought that my first finger to first finger were a little broken, where I want them to sound like more connected, like a phrase. Okay, that's the first string. And then we're going to do the same thing back. We're going to go backwards, back to the second string. Second string, and now we can go back to the third string. We're just going back down the strings. 1, 1, 3, 4, 4, 2. Sometimes when I'm shifting, I notice my shoulder like tensions a little bit, so I'm going to try the next string a little bit slower, not tense my shoulder. Okay, let's see. All right, now we're on the fifth string. And then that was a little squeaky actually, but we're gonna go to the sixth string now. Wait. That was a little squeaky, don't you think? Did you hear that? So, I'm not sure if like these mics are picking it up, but it's a little the fourth before. All right. So there's our first exercise. And we're back to this one. Okay. What is this one? Oh, okay, so I see this, I forgot. This one, sorry. All right, so this next one is similar. It's the same left hand pattern, same exact thing, except we're gonna jump up to a higher fret. So we're gonna jump up, instead of 1 to 3, we're gonna go up to 1 to 4. So now you just shift up 3 frets, and then back 3 frets. So it's a little bit more of a jump, but you know it's just only 1 fret difference. So let's try it. So 1 to 4th fret, first finger to 4th fret. 1, 4th fret. So we're gonna do 1, 1, 3, 4. Now your 4th fret is gonna go back to the. Your 4th finger is gonna go back to the 4th fret. You know, let me zoom in here on what we're doing. We're doing this one, and we're gonna do 1 to the 4th fret. 3rd finger goes down, 4th finger. Now your 4th finger is gonna go back to the 4th fret. 2. questions about getting to that one. Because now we're going to go to the 5th string. Same thing. We're jumping up to the 4th fret. Oh my gosh, I wish you could see my rat right now. My pet rat is so cute. He's in this tissue box, and he's making so much noise. And I keep thinking, I wonder if like you can hear him. But he's like in this tissue box, and he just like stuck his head out of the top of it. It's so cute. Okay, where were we? 5th string? Okay, and now we're gonna do 4th string. Same thing, 1, jump up. What do you think? Easy enough? And then we can go to the 3rd string. Oh, here it is. Same thing, 1. No, yeah, 3rd string, I said. Oof, that was a weird shift. That 4th finger coming back was a little weird that time if you heard it. And then 2nd string. Oh wait, I just jump up to the 4th fret. And then 1st string. Oof. You know what it was? I keep forgetting that it's going to go all the way to the 4th fret. And I keep almost going to the 3rd. And that time I was like somewhere in between. So 1, 4. That was a little too slidey. Slacking Source says, my fingers want to do their own thing. I know, it's hard to tell your finger to do something and have it actually do that thing. So remember when we worked a couple weeks ago on finger independence, where we did all these exercises where you move just one finger? That's basically what we're doing here. That's why we need to practice finger independence. And even when you practice finger independence, it's still tricky. That's why we have to keep practicing it. So maybe if your fingers want to do your own thing, they're their own thing, just think about it now when you're doing these, that you need to be thinking about finger independence as you do these. Thinking really closely about which fingers you're using. Robbie asks, for the next live stream, can you also do a tutorial on chromatic octave exercise? Tutorial on chromatic octave exercise. That's the one I did in the last live stream. What was my last live stream? No. I did that in the finger independence one, where we did chromatic octaves. Yeah, we did that in the finger independence live stream, so that was like 2 weeks ago, and I have the notes on the screen, and I show you how to do it. So go back to that one, because that will help also with what we were talking about with keeping your fingers in finger independence. Okay, let's see. Let's go to the 2nd string. We're doing the same thing. We're jumping. Ooh, I don't want to slide to that. Oh my gosh, I feel like I have to show you this rat. I have to show you. It's so cute. It's so cute. I can't even believe it. What the heck? This is what he looks like right now. He's sticking his little head out of this box. What are you doing? He's in his cage looking at me like this. And it's like, how am I going to get anything done? I just keep looking at how cute you are. What are you doing? You want to say hello? Are you the cutest? This is Mr. Rat. Oh my goodness, he is a mess. Look at this box. What did you do to this box? Ugh. Guys, this is how my practice sessions usually go, and this is why I never get anything done. It's so distracted. That rat is so cute. The thing is, I've got this cute rat who lives here all the time, and he's always doing something cute. Oh my gosh, I wish I could show you again. Now he's like sticking his head out from underneath the box. We're never gonna get anything done if I keep doing this. I'm gonna try to get back to work and try to ignore him being cute. It's really difficult. Some spicy left-hand exercises. I know, these are pretty spicy. That rat, his name is Mr. Rat. Mr. Rat because at one time I had 6 girl rats and 1 boy rat, and he was the boy rat. I only have 2 right now, but he was Mr. Rat because he was the only boy out of 7. But his first name's Warren, so sometimes I call him Warren, sometimes I call him Mr. Rat. He is a New Yorker rat. He was found outside in Queens. He was kind of just wandering around on his own outside. He's clearly not the kind of rat that's supposed to be outside, like in the subways and stuff. So somebody rescued him, and then I adopted him. So, yeah, that's Mr. Rat. He might come out again later if he does something cute again. We'll see. Got another rat, but I don't see her. She can hang out too. See, once again, this is why now I'm bringing you guys into this whole distraction thing. We're not going to get distracted by cute animals today. We're going to do our left-hand exercises. Let's go, you know what? All right, let's do the second string. Let's do the second string. Keep going. And then first string, this one. Mr. Rat didn't immediately take to me. Somebody found him like in like a gutter or something in Queens and recognized that he was not like a city rat. Like he was kind of scared, and he's like a white rat. He's not like a gray rat that runs around the city. So they sent him to a rat rescue organization where I adopted him from. That's the story of Mr. Rat. I don't know how old he is or where he was before this. I have no idea where he came from besides that. But he's got a good life now. He's got a huge cage. I wish I could show you his cage if I could move my camera. I can't move my camera, but he's got a cage that's as tall as me. He's got lots of friends. He's living a good rat life. Jonah asks, who makes your guitar? David Pace. I have a link in my description for the website for David Pace's guitars. He's got some really fantastic instruments. Okay, so we're done with this one. And the next one, wait, what is this? Oh, so now we're basically gonna keep doing this exercise. I don't know if we're gonna do this all the way up the neck, but you could. Oh wait, is that right? Yeah. Wait, why is it going? Domestic rats is a new concept to me. Yeah, they're called fancy rats. Mr. Rat was probably, if you've ever seen like snake food, people that have snakes feed them live rats, and a lot of times they're bred for that, and then they get out, they escape, and they, whatever, and then they get rescued. So he might have been like a feeder rat. He could have been, I had a rat once who was a lab rat who was a retired lab rat, so they're not really always like, like domestic like dogs are. Okay, so somebody says, I have played guitar for 4 years, but I never dabbled into classical music. Can you recommend me some songs that I can practice on? Yeah, I do have some songs on my page that are really good beginner classical pieces. Lagrima. Maybe if my moderator is watching, he could send a link to the ones that I played on my YouTube or something. But Lagrima, I've done. What I did recently was Packington's Pound, which I do with beginner students, and another one would be like the Soar etude that I have, the number 19 etude I have on my channel. And then just start looking for pieces along those lines. They're shorter, like I think those are like a minute long, and they're really good for beginners because they're really beautiful and not as difficult to play as something really advanced. Hi everybody, thanks for joining me all the way from Argentina. How cool. As you can see, I'm still procrastinating because I don't want to do these exercises. Okay, let's do exercise 29. This one we're gonna jump up to the 5th fret this time. So we're shifting from the 1st all the way to the 5th. Well, that was a really mechanical jump that I just did. Yeah, Targa has some great studies. Yeah, so since Robbie's asking if any good classical songs to practice on, if anybody else, I see Phil is putting some YouTube links. If anybody wants to help Robbie out, send some music, or I have some videos that he could try to find music from. But if you have any music or videos that you like that are beginner classical guitar pieces, put them in the chat. We're to the 5th string. I'm doing this exercise, so we're going same finger, 1, 1, 3, 4, 4, 2. But now we're going 1 from the 1st fret up to the 5th fret. So when we first started, we were going up to the 3rd fret. That was only a little bit of a jump. Now we're going all the way to the 5th fret. So be careful not to jump too crazily. Like don't throw your whole arm into it. Just stay relaxed. It's the same motion as when you did this one. Just going a little bit farther, so just don't panic. Which is kind of, I say don't panic because that's what I feel like I do sometimes. Well, all the time. I'm always panicking, but in general. But I mean, with these shifts, sometimes I feel like it's like, whoa, I gotta go, whoa, I gotta jump. So I'm always reminding myself to just stay relaxed. Alright, and then I'm gonna go to the 4th string. But it's very even, right? Whatever tempo you go, if you want to go faster than me, which I only recommend if you can play it very cleanly. If you want to go slower than me, that's great. But at the same time, make sure it's even. We've got these notes are all the same rhythm, so we want. Says I'm having trouble eliminating the squeaky sounds on the lower strings when I shift. It either sounds squeaky or the notes become kind of staccato. I know. That's why we practice this. It's so hard. I know what you mean. So we're thinking about, like I was saying, lifting your fingers just a tiny bit, just a little bit. I was kind of showing before, I'll do it again, the side of my guitar. But I'm lifting my finger off of the fret just like a tiny bit. And I'm coming off like almost straight up or even backwards a little bit so that I don't have this motion that goes this way. That's where you get that sound. So if you come straight off the string, then you don't hear it. So I'm coming straight off and I'm only, oh wait, can you see this? And I'm only lifting a tiny bit, just a teeny bit. It's a small lift. And I know these exercises are weird and they sound weird and they're hard, but at the very end of this, the last exercise I have is perfect, and it's one that I do basically every day. So I'll show you that one, but so we're just lifting a little tiny bit, like almost, I'm not touching the string and I'm shifting. So that's what we're working on here. The thing that you're noticing, the squeaks, I think squeaks to some degree are okay because we are real people playing this instrument. We're not machines. Well, some people that play guitar play like machines. They're so good, it's amazing. But we're a real person, and you know, it's an organic sound that comes from the strings. But as long as it's not like a crazy loud sound, it's okay. But we don't, as long as it's like quiet, you know. Just eliminate it as much as possible. And the way to do that is just be really in control. So slow down if you have to. And it might seem like boring or not something you really want to practice, but it's going to help you so much in the long run to work on these things really slow. You're actually saving time by playing something this slow. Florencia, is this the exercise from the Carlevaro? Yes, it is from Carlevaro, exactly. It's a good one, right? Have you done this one before? Jonah says John Williams is a machine. Yeah, probably. So some people are machines. I'm not. I'm not going to play. I don't play like John Williams, unfortunately. I mean, I'm sure he worked really hard on this, but he does play things really mechanically and really like just, you don't hear these squeaks and things. And it's probably because he did this work when he was really young or when he was just starting. He was, you know, practicing things really slow. He probably had a really good teacher. Should we get robot arms to play better? Yeah, if you can get robot arms that help you play guitar better, let me know, because I would like to get some as well. But for now, I've got these human arms. Next page. Did I do the fourth string yet? I think I did. A page so I can have a sip of tea. Oh wow, so cute. My tea says in this little thing, I don't know if you obviously can't read it, but it's one of those little like things on your tea. It says, kindness is the light of life. Just a little tea break to remind you guys to be kind. It doesn't matter how good you play guitar if you're not kind. Okay, so let's go to next page. Wait, oh yeah, now I'm on the third string. So 3, 1, 1, 3, 4, 4, 2. So 1 is jumping to the 5th fret. 4 is going back to. So we're going from first position. So first position is when your first finger is on the 1st fret, and we're going to 5th position, first finger on the 5th fret. Back to first position. 1, 5, 1st. So we're just jumping from 1st to 5th position, and then we're going to do the same thing on the 2nd string. Now this one, I'm not worried about the squeaking, right? So unless your strings are on their way out, which happens to me, and not today, I've got new strings today, but sometimes when your strings are on the way out and they're a little scratchy, you can hear it, but mine are very clear today, so that's good. So first position, fifth position. So remember the positions are, if my first finger is on the first fret, I'm in first position. If my first finger is on the fifth fret, I'm in fifth position. Now I'm back to going, my fourth finger is going back to first position. And now we're going to go to the first string. What do you guys think? Is this getting easier as you do it? Ooh, as I say that, I buzzed. What do you think? Is it getting easier? Okay, so then this exercise, I'm not going to keep going with this exact one because it's going to be the same. We're just going to go back to down the strings again. So I did that exercise all the way up to the first string, and then Carlevaro, this book, wants you to go all the way back down to the sixth string, which we're just going to skip that for now because we did do 6 strings already. But if you wanted to spend like more time on this, we've already spent 41 minutes. Oh, slacking sources is getting easier. That's good. That's what we want. That means that you're doing a good job. You're getting it. So we're gonna do this next one. Oh, okay, yeah. The notes. I told you the notes are confusing. So once again, if you're just coming, I said in the very beginning, if you don't read music and this page looks like crazy to you, don't worry about it because it's pretty simple. It's just we could just look at the number that's circled, and that's the string we're on, and then we can look at the finger numbers. So that's basically all you need. Because like when I look at this, I just see like a bunch of notes that have sharps in front of them. Like, what is that? And then I realize, oh yeah, it's that pattern again. Robert says on the higher strings, the challenge is getting a clean tone consistently. Yeah, exactly, definitely. You gotta work a little bit. It's right? It's a different sound to play on the higher strings than on the lower strings. So that's why we're doing these on every string. Every string is a little bit different. You know, even the 3 nylon strings, even though they're really similar, like they are a little bit different size. You know, they don't look so much. They look almost, if you see the strings from far away, they look like they're the same, but they're not. They have a different feel. So we need to get that nice tone the whole time. And that's why we're going to play slowly if this is new to you, because really the important thing is to get like a nice, beautiful sound, nice tone, and a connected sound. It's not to play fast. If you want to play fast, probably different exercise would be for that, but this is not for playing fast. Okay, so we're going to continue with this same left-hand pattern, but now we're going to jump from first position to 6th position. So remember, 1st fret to 6th fret. So it's 1, 1, 3, 4, 4, 2, 1. Ooh, did you hear that? I didn't lift my finger up high enough. That was a little messy. Let me do it again. Now we're getting into the territory where this is getting to be like a significant shift. And the main thing that I think about with this one is keep your eyes on where you're going. So don't look at your hand necessarily. You don't need to look at your fingers to know that they're going to do 1. And then you need to be looking at where they're going to be going on so I'm looking at the 6th fret. My eyes are there way before my fingers there. Same thing on the 5th string. So 6th fret. Right. 1, 1, 3, 4. Back to first position. 4, 2. I'm gonna do that again because that shift up felt a little felt like forced or something. I don't know. That was more relaxed. Pinky didn't really land right there, so I'm going to do it one more time. Okay, and let me just try to keep up with this page too, even though I know what the pattern is going to be. We'll just keep it on the page. So now we're doing 4th string, 1, 1, 4, 3, 4, 4, 2. There's so many different numbers. Like I'm saying the finger numbers, sometimes I'm saying the positions. I hope it's helpful and not too confusing myself. So we're going from 1st position to 6th position with just our 1st finger. And my eyes are going to the 6th fret when I do that. All right. Now we're going to go to the 3rd string. Imagine if this was a melody. I keep saying this, like imagine if this was a melody, because this would never be a melody. It sounds so stupid. But it doesn't sound that bad, I guess. But, you know, imagine that you want that to sound nice and connected, like it's one of your melodies that you'll be playing in your music. That way, when you go to play one of your pieces, this kind of motion is a little bit easier for you, and you can hear it. It's a lot of it also is not in just training your hands, but training your ears to be able to hear these kinds of things. Sometimes it's not really even the hands; it's just that you aren't listening right. So that's why I'm like constantly reminding us what we need to be thinking about, because sometimes when you're just doing this by yourself, you forget. And then 2nd string, we do the same thing on the 2nd string. 1, 6. I'm on the 1st string now. All right, so that concludes us on the 6th fret. Wait, what was this one? Oh, it's just a different, okay, different way to write it. Nice. So then the next one we're going to do is we're going to go up to, you guessed it, the 7th position. I'm going to take a break first. Robbie asks, at what age did you start playing classical music? And was classical guitar your first choice to pick up, or did you play on other instruments? I picked up classical just because I had a classical guitar, and I had a teacher who studied classical guitar, so it kind of just, and I was young, I was a kid, and I didn't like have any type of music I really wanted to play yet. Like I didn't like listen to a specific time yet. I just wanted to play guitar. So I started with classical. And yeah, I think I played when I was a kid, and then I started taking it really seriously when I was in high school because I wanted to go to college for classical guitar. Slacking sources, looking where you'll be instead of where your fingers are is a really good tip. Yeah, always when you're shifting, look at where your fingers need to go. It's kind of like if you've ever done archery. I've only done archery like minimally, like in school, but you know, you don't look at the arrow, you have to look where you're shooting it. So same thing with guitar, but it's actually probably easier on guitar because you're just going from here to here. Like if you're doing archery, your arrow has to go so far, so easier. Okay, so we're doing exercise 31. This one we're going all the way up to the let's see, 7th fret. So we're first position, we're in the same left hand again, I know. So we're doing 1, 7th fret, 3, 4, back down to first position. Now, for me, this is a little bit easier because I have a dot on my 7th fret. There's a dot right there, so my eye will just go to it, like lock into that dot. I don't know if you have dots on the side of your guitar. I only have that 7th fret dot, so this is a good position for me. Slacking source says, how are you supposed to position your wrist? Your wrists are sore, so if your wrists are sore, you think about having the guitar neck elevated enough that you're not bending your wrist this way. So if your guitar is too far down here and you're trying to do these exercises, your wrist is going to be bent. So that's why I have my foot on a footstool right now, because I'm trying to get the neck of the guitar elevated and my wrist straight. So here's my footstool, and then look at my wrist. It's just relaxed, it's just hanging here. So if you drop your arm, then pick it back up, that's what I want it to look like. It's really just comfortable and relaxed. I hope that helps. So just think about keeping a straighter wrist. Don't let it bend too much. And also to do that, I have my thumb kind of behind my fingers, like here. Okay, so now we're on the 5th string. We're going all the way to the 7th fret. What do you think? Are you guys having trouble with this one on the 7th fret? Is it like harder to go that much farther, or does it feel like a completely different thing? Oh, also in 4th. Oh. For me, it's a little bit noisier. I was happier with that. All right, now I'm going to go to the 3rd string. Aman says, I read somewhere that the headstock of the guitar should be at head level approximately. I would say that's a pretty good, like standard. I mean, everybody's different, right? So it may be a little variable. I think mine is probably, yeah, like I'm looking at my video now and that looks to me correct. Yeah, because if you go up too far, it's just like, I think in general, like that's a good way to think of it. Your headstock kind of like eye level, like maybe the tuner is at eye level. Okay, and then we're at I'm already at the 1st string. I can go to the next page. We're at the 1st string. Here. Right? 1st string? Yeah. So the first time I played that, I noticed that the 4th finger cut off when I jumped back. I want to give it a little more time to ring. Oh, 7th fret. You hear that? Hey, that's how I'm going to do it again. So I'm always trying to avoid these buzzy sounds. Wonder why, because they sound terrible. If you're too close to the fret, you get that sound. So when I do these technique exercises, I really like to avoid those. That's one thing you can really think about. Nice. Are we gonna do another? How much farther do we go? Okay. Let's do one more. Let's do up to the eighth one. Florencia says it's also a good tip to think of your arm as a pendulum when you have to go far back and return back. Yeah, that is good to like think of your arm as a pendulum. Thank you for that. That's a good visual. Your elbow is kind of is kind of like hanging, I guess, your elbow. Like your elbow's not like doing this kind of a thing. It's hanging here like a pendulum would. And you're using it to get this motion. That was a nice visual exercise. Let's do this one where we're going up to, is this the right one? This one. Now we're going to, from 1st position to 8th position. So let's see how that goes. Same exact left hand fingers, but now going all the way up, jumping from 1st fret to 8th fret, then first position, so 4, 2. That's a tricky. That's a shift. String. Ugh. Trying to eliminate those squeaks. All right. We're in the clear because we're going to go to the nylon strings now. 3rd string, 1st position, 8th position, 1st position. 1, 1, 3, 4, 4, 2. All right, 2nd string. Keep my all right, that is a lot. So in these exercises in the Carlevaro in the book, he shows starting at the 6th string, going all up to the 1st, which we did, and then going back to the 6th string. So if you want to like double your I think that's a lot. I think going up to the 1st string is probably enough. Because there's a lot here, and I'd want to cover all of those shifts, from 1st to 3rd to 4th to 5th. I'd like to do all of those, and we already spent almost an hour on these, so I don't know that if you were doing these without me, if you would need to go back down the strings. Okay. So, you can keep going too. I'm not going to keep going just for the sake of time, but you could keep going up to the 9th fret. I think he stops at 10. So it's kind of up to you with how much you want to do with these. And I am, like these technique classes, I think I've said before in these technique classes, I'm doing so far an hour of just left hand shifting. And I would never do that in my real practice, but I'm giving you guys some exercises that you might want to work on. Like I wouldn't do an hour of just left hand shifting. I would pick some of these every once in a while to add into my technique routine, because I would want to also get in some slurs and arpeggios on the right hand and things like that. So just giving you guys some options. So maybe take some, I'll show you at towards the end. I have the exercise that I do, I think every day, almost every day, every other day almost, at least. Jonah asks, do you often dedicate practice time to specific techniques? I don't usually do like this, like I said, where it's just like a specific technique. I wouldn't really just practice this on my own. I would say that I'm going to do, 30 minutes or an hour of technique, and then I would do different technique exercises. I wouldn't do all one thing for an hour. I wouldn't do all left hand shifting for 1 hour. I would do some left hand shifting, maybe for 5 minutes. I would pick a couple of these exercises, and then I would do, I don't know, something else. Lots of other things. But I do like doing these because this gives us like just really focusing on it, and then you can pick which ones out of this that you want to put in your practice routine. Because you might want to spend like some time on practice, on technique practice. Like I usually spend like a half hour a day on it. Okay, so here is now the opposite of what we were doing with this 1, 1, 1, 3, 4, 4, 2. This is like the opposite, because now we're shifting up with your fourth finger, which is so much more difficult than shifting up with your first finger. Your first finger is prepared to do all that, and your fourth finger is so weak compared. You know, I don't know. Well, I don't know. I don't know how this works. I don't really know if having like a... Okay, so when I used to play viola, I played viola, and when I was in college, my teacher told me something that I've been thinking about. It was so long ago. She told me that the fourth finger was like stronger than the other fingers, and I thought that was so weird because I was mainly a guitarist, and I was like, my fourth finger is not as strong. But she was her thinking was that it's supported by the rest of the fingers. So when you're shifting, it's like it's kind of got the whole hand involved, where your first finger is kind of just your first finger. And it's a little different because I was on, a violin or viola. The technique is really different because you're holding the instrument like this. But try to think of it. I think that's probably a better way to think of it for these. Is like your fourth finger has your whole hand involved now, and you're supported by all these fingers that are behind it. So it's harder, but we're gonna get through it. So this time it's like I said, it's the opposite. It's 1, 3, 4, and now your fourth finger is gonna jump up to the 8th fret. 4, 2, 1. So let me zoom in on that for you. Okay, so it's that first one here. So it's 1, 3, 4. Fourth finger goes to the 8th fret. 2, 1, and first finger goes back. 3, 4. Let's do that again. 1, 3, 4, 4, 2, 1, 1, 3, 4. And then we're gonna go to the next string. So that just says 5th string basically. So we're doing 1, 3, 4, 4 on the 8th fret. Wait. Ugh. 1, 3, 4, 4, 2, 1, 1, 3, 4. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing random fingers at this point. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. Okay, so when we do this, when your pinky lands on the 8th fret, you're actually in 5th position, right? Because your first finger's on the 5th fret. So we're going 1st position to 5th position. Okay, so it's 1, 3, 4, 4, 2, 1, 1, 3, 4. That's tricky. 1. So like I said, just follow along with these numbers. I'm just looking at the numbers really. 1, 3, 4, 4, 2, 1, 1, 3, 4. And let's go to the 4th string. Ugh. I'm losing it, guys. Okay, here we go. Oh, that was bad. I didn't hear anything there. Oh wait, 1, 1, 3, 4. There's 1, 3, 4, 4, 2, 1, 1, 3, 4. That's tricky. 1, 3, 4, 4, 2, 1, 1, 3, 4. Okay, and now we're gonna do that on the 3rd string. 1, 3, 4, 4, 3, or 4, 2, 1, 1, 3, 4. So make sure that this, the problem that I just noticed myself on this string is that I'm focusing so much on this 4 to 4, because I just talked about how hard it was, and then I wasn't doing very well on the 1 to 1. So in the future with this, I'm gonna think about that. Oh wait, 1, 3, 4, 4, 2, 1, 1, 3, 4. All right. Oh, thank you, Daniel. I'm glad that you're interested. That this is a good topic. I hope this is helping everybody. Now I'm on the first string. 1, 3, 4, 4, 2, 1, 1, 3, 4. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to show you my favorite one. This is what I do every day because it doesn't take this long. It doesn't take as long as these Carlevaro ones, and it is really applicable and easy to remember. I don't have to look at the music or anything. Let me just take a break for a second. This is long. Sorry. All right. So this one I really like. I put this one in my warm-up routine every day. And this is from the Kitharologus book by Riccardo Isniola, which I really recommend. I thought I put a link to it in the description, but I don't know if it went through. So I have it in some of my other technique ones, but this one is basically a major scale on one string with shifting. So once again, if you can't read the music, it's not going to be a big deal. You'll probably be able to get this. So I'm doing, like I said, it's all a major scale on one string. So you probably know what a major scale sounds like. That's your major scale. So the thing that we're going to do here is, once again, we've got each string is separate. So the first line is the first and second line are the sixth string, and then you can see it just telling you basically to do the same thing on each string. So I'm going to do first finger, third, and then I'm going to shift to fifth position. 1, 2, 4, and I'm going to shift up to 10th position. 1, 3, 4. That's our major scale. So let's do that one more time. So we've got 1, 3, fifth position, 1, 2, 4. Shift again, 10th position, 1, 3, 4. Oh, you're gonna practice this on your bass guitar. That's a good idea, because your pinky is gonna be like so strong. It's gonna have like muscles popping out of it. So let's do that one more time. You can already see the shifting here, right? And then we're gonna go backwards. Now here's tricky because we have to go 1 and then land on 4 on the fifth position. Now we have to go 1 and then land on 3 in first position. Let's do that again. So we're going to go up. Okay, so seems simple enough. We're going to make it a little more complicated with, you're going to shift from this F, this is our top, or bottom of our scale, to the very top of the scale with the fourth finger. So watch. And we're going to go back down the scale. So I'm just jumping the octave, then going down. That's a big jump too, because like what's first position to 10th position? end it, we're going to jump our pinky to the 8th fret, so 5th position, and then just do. Robbie's going to use these exercises to get his pinky to cooperate. Yeah. Now, we're going to be nice. We're not going to call your pinky stupid. It just needed some extra work and tweaking. Your pinky is probably really smart if it was able to go from not being able to do these exercises to be able to start doing them. It's a lot to ask of your pinky. So here's our exercise again on the 6th string. Repeat. Notice I'm lifting my fingers so they don't squeak. Now we're jumping to the octave. That's a good one, right? I like that one because you can hear the octaves, or you can hear the scale. You can hear the scale, so it's easy to phrase a scale, I think. We all know what a major scale sounds like. It's easy to make it sound nice and connected. And there's a lot of things you have to work on, like I said, 1 to 4. And then, 1 to 4 here. There's a lot of things to work on here. It's not just 1 to 1 or 4 to 4. It's like one finger to a completely different finger. And then the beautiful thing about this is now you can do it on every string, and I would suggest it. So now we do it on the 5th string. Another thing I noticed with this one to be careful of is when you take your pinky off to, like on a scale, like on this, for example. I noticed it when I did this. My pinky kind of went off too far, I wanted to keep my hand in this position the whole way. I don't want my pinky to go. Now if my hand, if my hand is going this way, look how much more difficult it's going to be to get it back in position to get my 4th finger here. I have to redo my whole arm. So I want my hand to stay, we're on the 5th string. Keeping this parallel shape in my hand, parallel to the fretboard, and going back. Does that look so much easier? And you might be thinking, oh, but I can't do that. It's not easier. It'd be easier for me to just go. But it's not, because you're going to spend a ton of time trying to get that to sound under control, and it's just not. It's actually going to be easier for you to work really slowly and get your hand to do this position the whole time. Now, are we always 100% of the time in this position on guitar? No. But if you can be, it makes everything so much easier. I'm not doing any extra movement, anything weird. If you're lazy, it's perfect because it's just like, look how much easier that looks. Okay, so now I'm on the 4th string and I'm doing the exact same thing. I love this exercise so much. I said about looking at where you have to go, not just at your fingers. My eyes aren't following my fingers, they're guiding them. Oh, and then 5th. Juan says he thinks of Somewhere Over the Rainbow when I make that octave jump. Yeah, if you know that song, which I guess everybody knows that song, the first two notes are octaves. The first two notes are octaves, so yeah, you're gonna think of that song you're probably gonna think of it every single time. That song is so ingrained in us. It's so beautiful and such a part of our musical, I don't know, brain. I'm losing my musical brain right now. Oh, hi Richie, thanks for coming. Okay, so now we're on the third string. We're gonna do the same thing. It's a major scale, but all in the same string. So 1, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. There it is. That was tricky that time. I always think these strings are gonna be easier, but sometimes they're not. Something I'm thinking about here is keeping my shoulder relaxed. It might not look like it on the screen, but sometimes I feel like my shoulder is like creeping up like this. And I want it to just stay relaxed. So sometimes you have to remind yourself to relax. Octave. Fifth position. All right, second string. Octave. Oh, kind of missed that one. But we're doing repeats, so we have another chance. Got it. All right, last one, first string. You know what? Because I love this exercise so much, and I did that not so well that time, I'm gonna do that string one more time. Got a little distracted by the by the chat. Here's the thing. It's not your fault, but the chat is like right in my line of sight where the fretboard is, so when new messages come up, I see it instead of my hand. So I gotta think. Ugh. This is the last exercise I'm gonna be able to do today. Oh my gosh. Oof. I'm losing it. Okay, one more. Alright, so that's what I have for you guys for left hand shifting. Like I said, I think shifting in the left hand is something that's really important to practice because you're going to want your phrases and melodies to be connected, and it's not all the time that the melody is going to be on the same string or in the same position. You're going to have to shift for a melody note, and we don't want the melody to get broken up. That's something really important with all music, but something that's technically difficult in classical guitar. Yeah, so these are the books I used, Kitharologus and the Carlevaro. I'm going to put links to them in the description of this video, but I think there's also links to them in the description of the last technique stream I did, because I used a lot of books for that one, and those are in there. I had some trouble getting it in this one. But it was really good to see you guys. I'm so glad that you joined me for this, and it's fun to be able to chat with you guys while we do technique. Otherwise, it's just me practicing technique by myself. That's not as fun. So yeah, let me know if you like this, and I do a technique, or not always technique, but I do a live stream every Tuesday at 5 p.m. So if you subscribe to me, you can vote for what the live stream is going to be. I always put a poll up 48 hours in advance of the live stream, like on Sunday or something, and whatever the most popular answer is, that's what I'll live stream. So it's either like technique, or I'll learn a piece, or I'll do a concert or something like that. So if you like these, subscribe to me and vote and come to the next one. But until then, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was helpful.